Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cut Shield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cut Shield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today.
Now carried it in back into goal.
That was a beautiful passing play right there, Sean.
What a save! Woo! Talk about a move.
Welcome to another exciting edition to Grove City Hockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest. I've got Easton Borso. He is the he's taken over for Carl with the Detroit Knights, when Carl left, about 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, about.
Oh, yeah, give or take. So we're going to be talking about MIHA 2023-2024 season. That's just coming up here in a few weeks. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about the Detroit Knights, how you came to come about taking over, how many teams you're going to have in each division, and we'll go from there, bud.
Yeah, so the Knights have been around, obviously, since 2010, since MIHA was founded. I joined during Carl's last season playing and very running the Knights. So that was about 2019-20, just before COVID. Mm-hmm. Played under him. He coached me, taught me everything I know. And then in 2020, I had a group of players who wanted to play MIHA, and he asked me, do you want to make a team? And I just told him, sure. What do I got to do? And he hooked me up with everything and was able to help me get it off the ground and got me to where I am now. About 5 years in now, and we're looking pretty good for this season.
Awesome. So you got a T4 team and a T5 team, right?
Yeah, so I've had the T4 team. This is going to be our 5th season. And then T5, obviously, just starting up this year. We're working on getting a couple players and getting it off the ground.
Awesome. I'm excited to see how this T5 division is going to shape up. I know verbal commits are just about wrapping up. I think everybody has until like the 1st of August, so I think that's next week, Tuesday. I'm not sure how many teams are going to be in T5. I hear it's a pretty good size number. T4 should have just roughly about the same as what it had last year, right around 20 to 25 teams, maybe 30.
Yeah, that's what I heard, about 20 for T4, and I've heard around maybe 8 or so for T5 just to get started.
Yeah. Cool. So now refresh me. I haven't had a chance to get any research in. How did you guys finish last season? Did you guys just barely missed the playoffs, right?
No, I wish we did. No, we finished 23rd in T4. We had a lot of turnover from the year before. We had a lot of guys move up to Tier 3, and a lot of people just with personal issues not able to make every tournament, playing with a lot of subs. So we didn't finish as well as we hoped, but we're looking forward to next season, and we're hoping to have a lot better of a team and push for that playoff spot.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah, it's always tough when you have a large turnover. Some of the guys that you were kind of, banking on being there to help support the team just chooses not to be a part of it. Improvements have you guys focused on for this upcoming season?
So we look for players who are more likely to stick around for the whole season. Obviously, you can't control certain aspects of it, but if you can control guys who want to be there, want to compete, and want to win, that's definitely number one. We got a new goalie as well. We've got Jordan Snyder, like shout out my goalie from Buffalo Fusion. He's coming
There
back
you go.
home.
Awesome.
Play with his guys back home. So that's awesome. We got a couple of his guys from his team at Taylor. Pretty solid group that he's made over there. And just a bunch of great dudes. You always want to have a great vibe with your teams, no matter you're number 1 in the league or you're number 25. You just want to have a good vibe, have a good time.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I don't think most people realize, that you can have a really down year. Like we'll take, for example, the Great Lakes, not Great Lakes Growlers, but the Beer City Growlers. Okay, they didn't win a single game this past year. Same with like the Chicago Damage. But man, when you talk to them, their spirits aren't down. They're not like, they're just like, just didn't go our way this weekend. You know, I mean, every game was competitive and tough, and when you can get a group of guys that have that kind of mentality, it really does help out. You know, it get you through those lows, because you know, in the next year or two, you know, the next couple of tournaments, you guys can be hitting on all cylinders and you can be diming everybody.
Exactly. As long as you have a good vibe, everything's going to go well, whether you win or lose. I played on really good teams that have been completely toxic to play with. And I've been on some really bad teams where great vibe, everyone's still having fun, and you can just enjoy yourself the weekend. You don't have to just sulk after every single loss.
Yeah. So, Easton, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved in roller hockey or ice hockey, or just in hockey in general? Was it something you kind of grew up playing, or did you get into it kind of late, like a lot of the roller guys did?
Yeah, so I started playing ice hockey. I started a little late at age 10. My father used to play, and he signed up me, my younger brother, my younger sister, all at the same time. We learned to play. I started my second year of Pee Wee, so I was about 11. Played ice hockey, played all 4 years varsity in high school. And then after high school, I just really didn't want to play ice anymore. I saw something was going on at the Sportsplex. Carl had posted something on Facebook looking for players. I said, hey, can you get me on a team? I want to try roller hockey. He said, sure. He got me on a team that was 2018. And yeah, I've just been playing ever since. Put together my own team in 2019 there, and have just fallen in love with roller hockey since.
Yeah. Now that Sportsplex, that was out of Taylor, right?
Yeah, that's out of Taylor. So
yeah, that was like that.
Yeah.
I want to say I think I remember that rink. It was a very, very small rink, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's small, but it feels like home every time you walk in there.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like the ceilings were small. Yeah, I think you had like 1.5 feet on each side of the boards. You know, it was basically a roller rink that had a hockey rink inside that. You know, so but if I'm not mistaken, am I right with that?
So the roller floor is actually kind of like an ice rink. It really is very similar to ice. I'm not sure what rink you're thinking of.
For some reason I'm thinking. Well, I know I played in Taylor, but it might have been with. Oh shoot, that would have been way before your time.
Maybe you're thinking Canfield.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at the arena. It was before Canfield, and it was Soper's dad's rink that he had. That was that he played with the Knights, you know, back in 2010 when they first started. So it would have been like 2011 or 2012 would have been that rink. So you still would have been, like I said, I'm trying to remember the name of that rink. But
would have been like 11.
It was a fantastic rink though, because it was so small. I think I might even have pics on my Facebook of that facility when I was playing with, because I was playing with the Giraffes that year. So, but yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's a small rink, but it's a rink that brings back memories for you, as home. So you started out playing ice, kind of gravitated toward the roller, and then take us from there.
Yeah, so I had put my own team in Taylor's adult inline league in 2019 for the spring and summer.
Mhm.
And then I saw Carl was looking for players for the Detroit Knights for tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. I approached him, asked him what division he think I'd be good in. And he said, I got a spot in T4. If you want it, it's yours. Come play. Played that season up until the COVID break. Wasn't the best rookie season for me, honestly, but honestly, from there, just grew and got better as a player, better as a manager in these years. And I've just had a bunch of fun, made a bunch of memories with some good friends.
Nice, that's awesome. So, so how did let me ask you this then. I don't want to re-ask. What's your favorite hockey memory, whether it be ice or off ice? I always talk about, like, I'm sure you've heard, like, that first time that I ever went to a hockey game. My uncle was standing next to me, and unbeknownst to me, this puck just comes flying up out of the rink and right into my uncle's hand, and he just barehanded caught it, and from that moment on, I was hooked. So, do you have something like that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so my uncle, when I was growing up, was the head chef for the Red Wings. So I grew up at Joe Louis Arena. I
Oh,
learned to
cool.
play there, learned to skate, went to plenty of games. And my favorite memory, he took us to the Big House for the Winter Classic versus the Leafs in
Nice.
2014. That was the coldest day of my life, but 100% the best hockey game I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, because didn't Michigan and Michigan State play the day before?
Yeah, so I don't remember if they played in Ann Arbor or if they played at Comerica Park where they had a rink set up. Because I went to the Red Wings alumni game at Comerica the day before, and then
Okay.
was surprised the next day that I was going to the Winter Classic.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude, that's got to be really cool though, to be able to experience an outdoor NHL game. Um, Probably one of the most, one of the highlights of your life for sure.
Easily.
It's like not too many people get a chance to experience that. Like, you got to take and consider, like, think about it for a second. There was what, it was was it the largest attendance?
It was the largest NHL attendance for a game, and it was the coldest up until the Minnesota Winter Classic in 2022.
Okay. So, and how many people were there?
It was just over 106,000 people.
Yeah. So, 106,000 people. Okay. So you're one of 106,000 people out of, and there's 300 million plus in the United States. So to be able to be just a fraction of that, to witness, one of the premier outdoor league games that you'll ever see, it's gotta be, man, like, I love history. So, so I think about things a little bit differently, but I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the formative memories I have growing up. Definitely got me even more into hockey because around that time I was still getting into it, watching it more. That one definitely cemented it as this is my sport. This is what I want to watch.
Yeah, nice. So now, are you a forward or a defenseman?
So I'm mainly a forward. I can
Okay.
play defense in a pinch if we need it.
Mhm.
If I'm playing defense, you might have a heart attack sometimes, but I can usually stop it mostly. Not afraid to block shots. I'm
Right.
definitely a forward at heart.
Okay, cool. And who is your favorite player?
Growing up, I idolized like Thomas Holmstrom, Johan Franzen, those net front guys, because
Yeah.
they were able to be elusive, create space. They could score that back door. They could have the nice tip from Lidstrom or Zetterberg or Datsuk. They did the dirty work so those guys could flourish.
Yeah, that's awesome though too. So now, what about for roller? Now, have you had a chance to watch any of the roller hockey season with the Narch, with the tours, and with the state wars?
I haven't had much time recently, been a little busy with work, but I was at last year's championship in Taylor when it was there,
Okay.
and that was a thrilling game. I think that one went to overtime.
Yeah, yeah. Etan scored the final goal on that one. He was actually supposed to be on the pod last night, but something came up, so we had to reschedule.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. That building was electric. I've never seen it electric for any ice or roller game ever in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it couldn't have happened to a better player than Etan. I love the guy. He's a great guy. He's a former teammate of mine. So it's one of those. So it's one of those ones where, it's always cool to see people and friends that finally get some recognition. So it was really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah. So now you've got your T4 team set. You're working on your T5 team. What are your goals as a unit? Aside from keeping that positive vibe and making the playoffs, what do you guys hope to accomplish this season?
So for T4, the goal is obviously get in the playoffs, make some damage, go on a run, and try and win. I've won the playoffs before back in 2021 with my group.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great feeling. Want to get back there, just like chasing the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
T5, I want to help those guys kind of grow, teach them how to play roller, and just help them grow their skills more. Playoffs are not this year for them. Doesn't matter. Just want to make sure that they're in it, they're invested, they're getting better, and they're having fun.
Cool. Now, are you guys going to have some organized practices to help these guys get caught up to speed? Because sometimes, people, when they make that initial jump, I'll even use the Grove City Thunderbirds, that first tournament. I don't think they were quite ready. But then by the end of the season, you could tell that they had learned those lessons and applied those those failures and turned it around to successes. What are you looking to do to help your team achieve those successes?
Yeah, I'd love to have them out practice, maybe rent the floor every month or so. Just work on some skill development, maybe work on running some plays, showing them where they need to be for roller, how to spread out the floor, and just let them do their thing, because sometimes their thing may not be traditional, but it works to score goals and win games.
Yep. Yeah, that's one thing I will always say is like, hey, just remember, this isn't your local recreational league. This is definitely, everybody here is better than you give them credit for, and they deserve to be here, and they will make you look silly if you aren't careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been looking for guys who are committed for the C5, guys who know they want to be better, guys who are going to work. The goal is to try and get them to push up into T4 eventually, maybe whether it be one player or even the whole team. Just want to get them to work hard and want them to get better and aim for those higher divisions.
Cool. Yeah. So that's always, a plus. Are you going to have any guys that are kind of on the downswing of their career? Kind of like, someone with my experience, I haven't played, in almost 9 years now. But got any couple of grizzly old veterans that are, hey, they're not, they're a step or two behind in the upper divisions, but they would be great in this T5 division?
I haven't had any just yet. Right now, we're about halfway through filling out the roster, but I'd definitely love to add some veterans. I know I've talked to a couple about possibly coming down from T4 and coming into T5 just to be a mentor, be a leader for these guys when I'm not able to be around. So I'm definitely looking for some veterans, but haven't found any quite yet at this time.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Just, hang in there, because, it's nice to have youth and inexperience, because they don't know what they're what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah,
But it's also nice to have that veteran, those one or two veteran guys that can kind of help show those kids the ropes and how they can help, calm the nerves and say, hey, we may be down 3 goals right now, but we still have, a period and a half left to go. So let's just buckle down, do our assignments and what we're supposed to do, and get one on the board. And then 1 turns into 2, 2 turns into 3, and 3 turns into 4. And before you know it, you're winning 4-3.
exactly. Yeah, you got to have those guys on the roster. Can't send in a completely young team. And you can't have a team of only just grizzled veterans. You got to have a nice, healthy mix.
Yep. Yeah, because those grizzly old veterans, no matter how stubborn we are, those young up and comers will just eat us apart after the 3rd or 4th game.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, Easton. Well, I think I'm just about out of time. Do you have anything else you'd like to add about the upcoming MIHA season?
Just that I know we're excited. We're happy for Carl to give us this chance. I'm definitely grateful to be running this team now. He did a lot of great things with it. And I just can't wait to lead the team into the next generation. Cool.
Well, I'm excited to check out this T5 team. I'm ready, and I'm excited to see how your T4 team does this year. With the new teammates that you guys are going to have, it should make for an even more competitive team than you had last couple of years.
Oh, definitely. We're ready, and we're coming for that trophy.
Cool. All right, man. Well, Easton, thanks for taking the time to join us on the pod. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and we will see you on the flip side.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks.